Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited because this is the first time I'm going to be doing a predictive reading. This is for the month of February 2026. So I've got three piles here, group one, group two, group three. Think about what pile resonates with you, meditate if you like, just whatever pile you're most drawn to. Hopefully, there's a message in there for you that will be something predictive and helpful for the month of February in 2026. All right, let's get started. Hi, my beautiful group ones. If you chose this pile, this is your predictive message for February of 2026. For my group ones, please, Spirit, some messages for February of 2026, group ones. These can be major themes that you're experiencing, um, things to look out for, things to work towards. All right, first we have trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So, is there a path that you've been wanting to go down where there's been some hesitancy? Where like you have a goal in mind or a project, or let's say maybe you want to switch careers or something like that, and you're having a bit of hesitation with it. Spirit is saying, trust your path. Act as if you know you're going to be supported and go down the path with that knowing and that hope as like the driving force for you. We don't always have the answers in life. We don't always see the hows, like how we're going to accomplish something. We just know that we want to, and we might know the why. Like, okay, why? It makes me feel really good. It resonates with who I am. I feel like I'm doing something worthy of my time. Um, I enjoy it, whatever the case may be. You don't need to have all the answers in order to go down a path of something that you want to pursue. So I see you in the month of February as being called to, and you have like an opportunity to start walking down this path despite maybe not having all the answers laid out in front of you. Trust. Trust is your invitation for the month of January. Trust in yourself, trust in where you're being led, where you're being called, where you're being intuitively pulled, because your intuition is your soul's way of speaking to you, your higher self's way of speaking to you. That is the language of your higher self and the soul. It's subtle, it speaks to us in intuition, okay? And then you've got call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So Spirit is saying that you won't be alone for this path. Call in your tribe, know who your tribe is, be deciphering with the people that you interact with in the month of February. Are they there to help you along this path? Are they supportive of this path? Um, if not, maybe spend less time with those people. Seek the people that will support you, will honor the path that you want to go down. Maybe people that can help you and contribute to whatever endeavor you're seeking here. Okay. So you're going to be calling in the right people into your life in the month of February to help you go down this path. And then you've got Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So that's Spirit's way of saying it's happening. You've got all the right nudges here, I believe, for what you want to pursue. And so Spirit is saying, trust in yourself, trust where you're being led, call the right people, and you're going to create this sense of success that you're seeking. You're going to be in the process of creating something that's so in alignment with you that makes you feel like you're creating your own heaven in this earthly realm. I love the start of this reading. Let's get some tarot and see. Spirit, for my group ones, what can they expect for the month of February? For my group ones. Okay. We've got two here. We've got the Knight of Cups. Okay, so yeah, this is you like actively working towards something that really emotionally fulfills you. You are taking action. You are starting to move in the direction that's bringing you emotional fulfillment. This is someone who leads with passion. And I want to point out, so this night, there's other knights in the tarot that move faster. The Knight of Cups is not the slowest knight by any means. That's the Knight of Pentacles, but the Knight of Cups is more of like a steady kind of like starter type of energy where you're leading with passion, you're excited, you're letting your heart kind of lead you in the direction that you want, and there's some action being taken, but it's not like you're running. Okay, the horse isn't running in this imagery. He's taking some sure, steady steps. So I really see this as like the beginning of some sort of project in your life, the beginning of some sort of new phase of something that like your heart is leading you to. So I see you just taking action towards this goal, taking some of the first steps. And let your heart be the leader here. The Knight of Cups leads with his heart. He's idealistic, he's passionate, okay? He's like self assured, he's looking forward, he's got his eyes set on the prize. All right, and then we've got the Six of Cups reversed. So, what potentially could be holding you back is something that's happened in your past. Six of Cups, when it's upright, is all about like nostalgia, memories from the past, um, like your inner child. So I'm taking this as like something from your past here has given you the sense that you can't trust your past. I'm sorry, trust your path. Like maybe something had happened to you in the past that's affected your um whatever this calling is, that's like this path in your heart that you want to follow. There's something in the past that's bleeding into you maybe taking action now. But I see you in February as having the opportunity to really turn this around and change this. Another thing I'm hearing is, because the Six of Cups deals with our inner child, is remember how simple and easy it was when you were a child. And what I mean by that is children don't get weighed down with the how. I mean, if you look at a kid playing, they can find a stick and a leaf and, an acorn and turn those things into something completely magical, and like they kind of just creatively jump into whatever they desire without like the adult side of things, which is like the planning and the thinking things through and thinking about the challenges that might happen. And then we're affected by that because, oh, what if I can't overcome this or whatever it is? They just live in the moment. I want to experience this creativity and play. I'm going to do it. That's what a child operates like. And so I'm hearing with the Six of Cups here being reversed, to remember your inner child and just like how trusting you were with your play and your imagination and your creativity, and to like bring some of that back into the picture for the month of February. Not everything has to be taken so serious, and you don't have to have all the answers. Sometimes simply just like going down the path with the intention of, okay, I'm going to start this project. I'm going to lead with my heart here. I'm going to trust the path. I'm going to stay connected with the people that will support me or help me. And I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it. Whatever this is, February is the month for you to get the opportunity to go for it. All right, let's see what else we get for my group ones. I see a lot of water in the imagery here in your reading so far. And so I feel like this is something that's quite emotional for you. Whatever this is, there's a lot of emotions tied to it. And so this journey could be an emotional process for you. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You know, it could be emotional in a very positive way as well. But don't be surprised if this journey that you're on with this particular path that you want to go down is an emotional process for you. This is going to be something that is really going to shape who you are and almost like redefine who you are. And I think that those situations can often lead to some emotional growth opportunities, if that makes sense. I think you're going to have ups and downs within this path that you want to go down, which is no surprise. Things that are worth pursuing are often very challenging. Okay, so this is going to be a path that I don't see as being particularly easy, but it's something that has a deep root within you that you're meant to pursue. So just embrace the challenges as you encounter them. Okay. And then you've got inspiration. Okay. So, yeah, like you're definitely, there's an inspiration that you're having that's calling you down this path that I think you've maybe been denying yourself that you're actually going to start making effort on in the month of February. You're going to be feeling really inspired. Oh my gosh, look, guys, new beginnings. Let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell. Oh my gosh. So perfect. You're going to be so inspired. You're going to be starting a new beginning, a whole new beginning for you. Wow. Okay. And then organization, purpose, planning, efficiency. So, Spirit is saying stay organized. Okay. Organization is going to be a key aspect to the success of this new journey for you. How exciting, though. I love having readings like this where it's like the start of a new chapter for somebody. It's just such an exciting time. Oop, this card wanted to come out. Ooh, okay, shadow. Gosh, look at this. You've got 42, 43, 44. Um, so I think this might tie into the Six of Cups here. Whatever this new project is that you're pursuing is going to be related to your shadow self to some degree. And I really feel like it is something that's relating to your past, something that has happened to you in the past that has stuck with you. And maybe to some degree, you've defined your self identity around this particular past event. And so, Spirit is saying you're going to be invited to face the shadow aspect of yourself with this new beginning. This could be a great opportunity for you to understand this aspect of yourself more and appreciate the teachings that you've gotten from having this shadow aspect and improving your own identity with having this knowledge and overcoming whatever the shadow aspect is. Like, let's say you had some failure of something in the past, just as an example, some sort of project that you had started and it didn't work out the way that you hoped and it wasn't successful and it didn't go anywhere. And so maybe you've been left with like, okay, I can't accomplish goals like this. Maybe I'm not worthy of it. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not organized enough. Um, success in this endeavor just isn't meant for me. And this could be your opportunity to say, hold on a second. I define who I am every day. Every moment we have the opportunity to redefine who we are. Anytime you're faced with a challenge, you can like ask yourself, okay, who do I want to be in this moment? How do I want to handle myself in this moment? Something that I like to do is I like to go in with the intention if I'm having a difficult moment, where I say, you know what? Okay, how would my highest self, the highest version of myself, handle it right now? And how could I be more like her? And at first, it seems kind of awkward to do that, like it's not natural, but something about it really kind of clicks. And the more you do it, the more natural it feels. And I feel like you just kind of slowly start to integrate more and more about um, like who you are, and you just have so much more self-worth, and like you really step into your power of taking control of yourself even in difficult moments, like telling yourself things like I can do difficult things. I can manage myself through really challenging situations. You've got water here that's flowing, you've got rivers and waterfalls and the sea here. Like there's a lot of like movement emotionally that's going to be happening for you, but you don't have to be the shadow side that says like, oh, I can't handle that, that's too hard for me. I haven't handled moments like that well in the past. You can choose to now. You can just simply tell yourself, from this point on, I'm going to handle challenges with a lot more grace and patience. I'm going to handle it like my higher self would. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Okay. You guys, okay. New life. You guys are going to be starting something so, this is going to be such a new chapter for you that's going to be so much more in alignment with who you are, and it's so much more like in line with your inspiration. This is so exciting. Yeah, you are going to be starting a new life. By the way, I'm seeing lots of fours, okay? So fours and numerology are all about like solid foundation. Okay? Like you've built up something where there's like a solid foundation. This new path that you're on, this new project, this new idea, this new thing that you want to pursue is really going to be part of like creating this new solid foundation for you. Okay, and then you've got friendship. So you've got your soul tribe here. Okay, friendship. So just be, intentional about, who you're spending time with, and who's going to be there to support you on this journey. You might even learn, this could be part of why the emotional side was speaking to me earlier. You might even, because I think there's going to be some ups and downs with this new journey that you're on. You might even find that through this new journey of self, your idea of friendship and who your soul tribe is going to be called into question. You might lose particular friends. Um, it could be a clearing out of the old to make space for the new, for the people that understand you, for the people that support you, for the people that are your soul tribe that have similar interests and values and things like that. And you might be shedding away some of the old. So don't be surprised if once you go down this new path, certain relationships start to dissolve. It's a necessary cleansing that has to happen as we continue to evolve in our life. Okay. All right, let's see any final messages here for my group ones for the month of February. Yeah, maybe for some of you too, like there's a fear around like what people might think with you pursuing this particular endeavor. And I want you to know that like that fear will fade. I think once you start going down this path, there's going to be almost like an aha moment of like, you know what, this feels too good for me to care about who's not on board. I think there might be some fears now around what people might think or what might happen. And once you get going, I think you'll be more accepting of potential. Um, yeah, you got between worlds. Wow, of potential, losses. I think you're gonna understand just at your core that whatever cleansing is coming your way is like meant to be, and it's not gonna bother you like it might right now. Just the fear of that. You've got between worlds, so this is like you right now. Like this is going to be kind of you in the month of February. You are going to be shifting from the old into the new version of you. Between worlds. But just like the imagery on the card, I think what you're leaving behind is something that left you feeling dull and gray. The steps that you're moving towards, the path that you're heading down is like vibrant with who you are. And that's why, like in this imagery on the card here, um, it's like gray on one side and she's pink on the other side and just like vibrant with love and all that because she's so more in alignment with like who she really is. I love that that card came out for you. And then we also got by the book. Okay, so with this new endeavor, there could be something that, because you also have organization here, okay, and like new beginnings by the book. So this is telling me do something by the book. All right, like seek out people that have done something similar and look for like the foundational steps that you need to make, excuse me, to follow in the footsteps. I mean, and like literally in this card, the elephants, they're like attached and they're they're being led, they're following. So I see this as like here's you, and there are people who have done what you want to pursue already, and so you would be wise to seek out people that have done something similar and to really follow the advice of how to get started. I love this reading, you guys. I think this is going to be such a beautiful month for you and a beautiful opportunity because, again, nothing is set in stone. You get to decide what your fate is, you get to decide how your tomorrow is lived out. So you can take this reading and you can run with it, or you can forget all about it and have whatever you want for the month of February. So that's why I say it's an opportunity. This month could be a real opportunity for you to like step into a new version of yourself, step into a new world. How exciting is that? If you are thinking about starting something new, I would love to hear what it is. Um, and if this reading resonated with you. And if so, I really hope that it's helped you in some way. Just get prepared for the month and go into it with a lot of inspiration. All right, well, that's all I have for your reading. And thank you so much for watching. I'm wishing you guys so much luck on this endeavor and courage just to go start a new beginning, be a new version of you. All right, bye. Hello, my beautiful group twos. All right, if you chose this pile, this is your predictive message for the month of February 2026. All right, Spirit, for my group twos, what can they expect for the month of February 2026? For my group twos. Okay, we got 3 cards that came out. I'm going to start with this one here. Ooh, okay. Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is someone who is very direct, very honest, very like assertive with her thoughts and her communication, but not in a disrespectful way, just in a very clear and assertive kind of way. So the month of February, you guys are having an opportunity here to really speak your truth, assert your value, your worth, your ideas, your thoughts, your plans to the people that it's necessary to. So I see you as having like clear communication and just having like clear mental thought. Okay. Great, great card to start us off with. Excuse me. And then we've got the Fool reversed. So when the Fool is reversed, this can mean we're maybe being a bit reckless, okay? Like we're not, this is kind of the universe's way of saying, like, take pause, think things through. So because it came out with the Queen of Swords energy, which is a very direct type of energy, this could just be like a balance reminder of like keep it in check, make sure you have some thought process before you're saying what you need to say. Or this could just be a reminder to like maybe have a little bit more intention behind what you say. Okay. Or if there's something that you're really excited about pursuing or like some new idea that you have, this is kind of the universe's way of saying new ideas are great. Just take a second, think things through, think about the basics before you go, diving into this thing head first. All right. And then we've got the Three of Swords. So, Three of Swords is usually like a painful experience, right? You've got knives through the heart here. So, be cautious of saying something that could hurt someone. Okay. I think that could be part of the reminder here from the Fool. Maybe there's something going on in your life where you're being called to like step up and speak your truth more. It could even be about something that has broken your heart. Maybe this is, you've recently gone through a breakup and there are things that you want to say to this person that you haven't said. That could be an example. And so the Queen of Swords is coming up to remind you you are worthy of having this type of energy and communicating your honest thoughts and feelings to people. Hmm. It could also be too that maybe there's an ending here that needs to happen. Um, like maybe you're staying stuck in something that is causing you pain, and these cards are here to kind of like encourage you to take a leap of faith in ending things if it needs to be that. Now, it doesn't have to be a relationship per se. It can just be something that you're attached to or someone that is causing you pain. And having like the mental clarity to recognize, okay, like I don't want this in my life anymore. This isn't serving me in some way. This isn't serving other people in some way. Um, and just that recognition of whatever like the painful aspect of this situation is, maybe that's your call to action in February, is to like have this Queen of Swords type of energy to recognize, you know what, this isn't good for me anymore. This isn't good for me. And staying in this situation isn't going to bring value to my life. It isn't going to bring happiness. So I see for February for you guys, you are being called to step into this Queen of Swords energy to really, first and foremost, be honest with yourself about, am I happy in this situation? Do I need to take a leap of faith into something new? If I'm not happy about this situation, I need to speak up, but I need to be tactful about how I do it. Let's see if we can get more information here for my group ones. Or I'm sorry, my group twos. My group twos for the month of February. Can I get more information about this situation, Spirit? I think anytime we have the opportunity to speak more authentically, even if it's challenging, you guys, it's such a important aspect of the journey of like coming into ourself and stepping into our power. Okay. Like I just want to remind you that because these situations can be really difficult and sticky to navigate. And so I just want to remind you that it's really worth the challenges of it. All right, you've got transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Yeah, I mean, I see that this transformation is going to happen for you. Like you are going to be called to have this transformation, I think, with your voice and your thoughts about certain aspects of your life. For some of you, this could be career. For others, this could be love. For some, this could be, family relationships or maybe, friendships. You'll know what area of life this is going to apply to you if it resonates. But you're going to be transforming this area of your life and like changing at a deeper level in a place from like way more authenticity. And then you've got Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. So, yeah, if you are being called to like step up and speak your truth, you are being divinely guided to do so. Don't ignore those nudges. They are there for a reason, they serve a purpose. That is your soul, your higher self connecting with you and communicating with you. Let's see what else we get for my group twos. The month of February. Something that I'm hearing right now is like you are going to be stepping into a more, how do I want to say this? If you're a woman watching this video, you're going to be stepping into more of like a goddess type of energy. If you're a male watching this video, it's going to be more of like a king type of energy, queen and king essentially. Um, but there's two images here of a woman sitting on a throne. And for some reason that's really sticking out to me in this reading. So I'm almost hearing like your sense of worthiness is really going to expand. where you're going to step into like more of your goddess like or king and queen type of energy. Okay. And I want to point out too, like, think about a queen or a goddess. Let's use that as an example. Do you think that they tolerate being treated like a less than? And I don't mean it from a point of like superiority, but I mean like just a sense of self worth. It has nothing to do with other people. You can have a really high sense of self worth without putting other people down or thinking that people are less than you. This is a completely personal thing that's has nothing to do with others. Um, and I think that you're going to be stepping into more of that type of energy through this month of February. All right, you've got co create. You are the creator of your life. Who do you want to co create it with you? Are they worthy of your time? Are they worthy of your energy? Are they worthy of your love? Are they? These could be some questions to ask yourself. Do you want them there to co create this life with you? And you might recognize that some of them, yes, and maybe for others, no. And that's an okay realization to have. Not everyone in our life is meant to stick around for the entirety. Some people are just here for a season. And then we've got never ending story. You know what? I want to pull the booklet out for this one just because I want to make sure I'm giving you a really good reading. And I put the booklet up. Give me 1 second. Sorry about this, guys. I want to see what the author had to say about this particular card here. Never ending story. All right. Self-criticism, the wounded ego, unnecessary dramas. Okay, you do have the Three of Swords here. So are you suffering through something with someone that just seems to be this never-ending despair? Right? Like, is this the person you want to co-create with? All right, let's see what it says. This is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. Unnecessary. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Queen of Swords, speaking her truth. Lest your world come crumbling down. Today, know that none of this is actually true. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, sacred, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, wants to protect you, and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. What was I saying earlier with the Queen of Swords? This is someone who like speaks and lives her authenticity. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. That is so fitting for what is coming up here. Spirit is being very clear to tell you that whatever never ending story that you've been caught in that's caused heartbreak, you don't have to stay in that. And whatever narrative you have around that that's affected your own sense of self worth, you can choose to have that not be true. Keep in mind, we are creating our lives every moment. Every moment is an opportunity to reevaluate, change our narratives, work on changing our beliefs, make different decisions. Every day you get the opportunity to wake up and say, who do I want to be today? Do I want to be someone who's stuck in the victim mentality, who lives in this pain? Or do I want to step into my Queen of Swords energy where I will directly and respectfully communicate my value and my worth to those that are in my life? Something that could be really helpful for you guys, I think, is some mantras. I am worthy. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of healthy relationships. I am worthy of people making effort for me. I am worthy of people supporting me in my goals. I am worthy of communicating my truth. I am worthy of setting boundaries down. I'm worthy of upholding those boundaries. I'm worthy of being happy. When I first started doing mantras, at first it felt weird and I kind of felt corny doing it. And I don't know that I fully believed it as I was saying it, but I stuck with it. And I really started to feel how powerful it was. Our words are literal spells. What you say has vibration. That vibration goes out into the ether, goes out into the universe. And law of attraction, guys, the universe gives you the frequency that you're outputting. Your words are frequency, your thoughts are frequency. All of these things matter. So, even doing a simple like morning mantra practice to reset your self worth for like 3 minutes, it can just give you a whole different trajectory for the day because you've put it out there. Don't underestimate the power of your words. Don't underestimate the power of your thoughts. Let's see what else we get for my group twos here. All for the month of February. Another thing I want to say is with other people and their actions, and this is something that I still struggle with this, and I have to remind myself of this. Um, their actions really have nothing to do with you. Um, it is more of a reflection of themselves than it is of you. And so I feel like especially women, I feel like we so often subconsciously kind of like tie our self-worth to like the way that we're being treated by others. And as a woman, you're a caretaker, and especially if you're a mom, you get into this like caretaker mode so deeply, and you put yourself on the back burner because it's just in our DNA to do so. And so we can be people pleasers, we can be caregivers, we can really, neglect ourselves. And I think subconsciously we kind of seek our value and our worth from like how we're treated by others. And so this is something that I personally have been working on a lot in the last couple of years, is having my self-worth be something that comes from me solely. And when I say solely, I mean like not even my husband, you guys. Like my husband and I have a great relationship. We've been together for 11 years. But my happiness and my self-worth cannot be tied to him. It has to be solely from myself. Um, it's a hard thing to kind of integrate into our being because I think it goes against what most of us are just kind of, you know, subconsciously programmed for and just kind of like innately designed for. Um, but once you start letting your self-worth be a completely come from a solo source of just you, it brings you so much more peace. This is the card that came out. It brings you so much more peace. And you have so much more freedom because you're not relying on anyone else for like the core safety of your being. You're simply choosing to have it yourself despite what others, how they're acting, how they're treating you, what's going on with them. It really doesn't matter. Peace comes from within us. Our self-worth comes from within us. Our self-love has to be from ourselves before we can, love others or accept love from others. If we don't love ourselves, we're not going to feel value of love from others, and it's going to manifest that way. Let's see in this deck if we can get any final messages here for my group twos for the month of February. That's funny. This card came out for group one too, and very applicable to what I was just saying. Okay, so your shadow side. What are some darker aspects about who you are that might play into the reading that we have here? You've got heartbreak, you've got never ending story, um, you've got, you're transforming. Maybe your self-worth needs to be evaluated. Maybe, you know, if you're in a relationship with someone, whether it be love or friendship or, what have you, where you're genuinely just not happy, there's just a lot of pain, is your shadow self saying, well, this is all I'm worthy of? I don't deserve real happiness. I don't deserve people that love and support me. I'm not worthy of that. Like, could that be a potential shadow aspect of something that you're dealing with? So it's definitely an opportunity for you to dive deeper into yourself, maybe parts unseen or parts that you don't want to deal with. Could be an invitation for that. All right, and then we've got divinity. You are a divine being, and the divine is love. At the end of the day, there's nothing but love. Once we come back into remembering that, our real selves can come forward because really that's all that there is love. Your divine self is like a vibrational expression of love. And your human self is this 3D representation of an aspect of who you are. You are so much more than this human experience that you're having. So, what's pointing out to me in this image right now is all these points on the star. Let's use this as a visual representation for your more complete whole self, your soul self, your higher self. And so, one of these points is your human experience today, this life that you're living. But behind the scenes, in other dimensions, in other realms, you are all of these things. You are divine and you are worthy. We're all worthy. We're all worthy of love. We are all worthy of happiness. We are all worthy of abundance. Step into that power of knowing this to be true for you. All right, guys. Well, this is I think a really powerful reading that gets into like some of the deeper aspects of who we are. Um, can be more of a challenging opportunity here where we might have to dig deep into our shadow self and do some work there and try to understand ourselves a little bit better and rewrite where our value and where our worth lies. And I see in the month of February as this being your opportunity to get back to co-creating your life, stepping out of these never-ending stories that you tell yourself where you're stuck in pain and be assertive with what you want, what you're worth, who you are, all of that. You're going to find a lot more peace. All right, guys, I hope this reading is helpful. I'm hoping it's going to help you get through the month of February and tackle this opportunity for you. And it's leaving you feeling a little more positive and inspired. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one, I hope. All right, bye-bye. Hello, my group threes. If you chose this pile, this is your reading for the month of February 2026. So let's see what Spirit has in store for you. For my group threes, February 2026. What are some major themes of the month? What can you expect? What might you be going through? Any advice from Spirit? All right, come on, Spirit, for my group threes. I like to go till a card pops out. Sometimes it just takes decks a little bit longer. That one. Ooh, you've got soulmates. So for the month of February, you could be getting closer with someone that's your soulmate, maybe meeting someone that's your soulmate. Soulmates don't always have to be romantic, guys. I think there's a misconception about that it's like a romantic thing always. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Um, let's pull out the book on this and see what the author has to say about it. I'll be curious if she's mentioned that as well. Harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship, fostering personal growth. Okay, so yeah, I mean, kind of like what I was saying, soulmates are just people that like resonate with your soul. From my perspective, at least, it says you are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. Certain people enter in your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness, and authenticity. It is always a reciprocal experience, although the results for each of you will vary. You know these people by the strong pull drawing you toward them. So, a soulmate situation is going to be coming to you in the month of February, where it's going to be a harmonious relationship of some kind. Um, that is there to benefit you and benefit each other in your expansion and growth. Let's see if we can get it could just be, for some of you, you'll find friendships, or you'll be spending more time in friendships that are really harmonious for you. Or family members. You know, we can have family members that are soulmates. I feel like this card wants to come out. And you've got unfinished symphony. So there's something that is unfinished in your life. Something that either you're creating, or I'm also reading this as like completing you to some degree, like this soulmate is going to help you feel complete, like you are the unfinished symphony. Yeah, something about this person is going to help elevate either a part of you that feels unfinished, or a project that you have that feels unfinished, or a goal. Like if it is romance, these, if you, for some of you, if it is romance, these, of course, are going to be like beautiful cards to come out for you because um, you're basically going to be meeting someone that you feel completes you. So for some of you, that could be the case. But for others, I don't think it necessarily will be love. I think it could just be, something that really feels like it contributes to your overall like happiness and fulfillment in life in various contexts. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Okay, so you're not alone. For some of you, this could even be a pet. Maybe some of you will be getting a pet in the month of February, or you're considering getting a pet. The reason I'm feeling that is because the animals in this imagery is really sticking out to me right now. And so I feel like there's a reason for that. That's probably Spirit's way of saying, like, for some of you, it's going to be there's an animal that comes into your life. You also have the penguins on this card, too. For some of you, it could be that an animal coming into your world is going to make you feel like the symphony is complete. Like it's going to fill a void that you've experienced. Maybe in February, some of you will be seeking, finding a pet, or maybe a pet will just fall into your life in some sort of way, like a divine orchestration. All right, and we've got transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Okay. Whatever this harmonious relationship is, it is going to bring about some deep healing for you. It is really going to fill this void that you have felt, where you have felt unfinished, where you have felt alone, where you have felt sorrow, or just kind of that general knowing that, like, I'm not complete. This isn't complete. Okay, that's so beautiful. Wow, I love this. Let's get some tarot. Let's see for my group 3 Spirit. Can I get more information? For my group 3s for the month of February. Ooh. All right, we've got the Temperance in reverse. So temperance, when it's upright, is, moderation, balance, divine timing. So when it's reversed, I feel like this is like there's a sense of imbalance within yourself. I think this is playing into this unfinished symphony. There's something that you've been dealing with for a while that has just made you feel imbalanced internally. And this, I really feel like this is more of like a silent struggle that you've been experiencing, where like maybe not a lot of people know about it, maybe no one knows about it. This is something you've kind of like silently been suffering with, this feeling of the unfinished symphony. I mean, honestly, maybe for some of you, you really have just felt alone, because it says here, you are not alone. And I think that feeling of feeling alone has made you feel very imbalanced. And maybe like you can't trust yourself, or you can't trust the universe. Let me see what else we can get for my group 3s, the month of February. But I see that this particular relationship is going to really kind of like, yeah, you got the Page of Cups. It's going to emotionally fulfill you. You're just going to feel like a piece of the puzzle that's been missing for a long time is finally put into place. And you're going to like look at this relationship kind of like he's looking at this fish in a cup with just like adoration and happiness and feeling really satisfied and feeling a sense of peace. All right, we've got the Seven of Wands. This is when we're fighting something. This is challenges. This is defending your position. Like you feel like you have to defend yourself. Because if you notice, he's like up on this hill, and these wands down here are, seemingly from others that are below him trying to reach him. But if you look at the imagery closer, none of the wands that are coming at him seem to be like really that much of a threat, if that makes sense. And so it can talk about, this card can talk about almost like feeling like we need to defend a position when we don't, like feeling we might need to explain ourselves or fight other people on it when it's really not that necessary. Like whatever you're defending yourself on might not be as much of a threat as you think it is. So this could mean that some of this is self-imposed, some of these, things that you're struggling with and you're challenging yourself with. It could be a bit self-imposed. That could be a question to ask. Like, am I imposing some of this on myself? Another way to interpret this is, are there opportunities here for me to potentially walk away from something that doesn't serve me? Because he doesn't look to be under that much threat to me. He could, walk away. He's already in an elevated position as it is, and so he could just choose to walk away, and I don't know that much harm would befall him. And so maybe there's an invitation here for you to walk away from something. All right, let's see what else we get. Ooh, that came out immediately. Ooh, you've got good fortune. So you've got good fortune coming your way. Don't feel like you need to keep defending certain things or fighting for certain things. Um, Maybe just, temper that subconscious need or, whatever, to just allow the joy to come in your life, allow the transformation and the healing to happen. Good fortune's going to come your way. Ooh, and then you've got nature spirits. Let's pull the book on that one. Let's see what. Lots of green here, guys. Green is connected to our heart chakra. So um, maybe softening your heart chakra and breathing into your heart chakra could be beneficial for you. Might make you feel a little more balanced and kind of get you out of this like fight or flight mode that you're in for whatever reason. All right, nature spirits. Let's see what we've got here. The elementals, fairies, devas, I'm not sure how to say that, and other nature spirits request your presence. It is time to venture outside, get into nature, and recharge your batteries with the trees, the grass, the mountains, the desert, and the sea. There is a magic that awaits when you commune with nature. Hmm. So, getting out into nature, allowing yourself to feel connected with it, could really open up your heart space more. It could also just help with this feeling of, this unfinished symphony that came up earlier. Um, when we get out in nature, the problems and issues of our human life and day-to-day challenges sort of get quieted and we're brought back to a much more peaceful place. It's kind of like being able to just switch off day to day worries and allow yourself just to be. And I think, we so often in life don't give ourselves enough permission to do that. All right, and then we've got study. Okay, so is there something that is calling you to study? Perhaps some new subject that you're interested in. Maybe for some of you, you're still in school. And so February, you're also going to be busy with a lot of studying and things like this. And then you've also got abundance. You've got good fortune and abundance. So I really feel like February is going to be an interesting month for you where some sort of connection is going to come into your life that makes you feel so much more complete. Um, I think a lot of you are still going to be pursuing certain studies or like maybe researching something that just has your interest. And you've got abundance coming. So, abundance and good fortune doesn't have to mean, financial. Um, it can be love, it can be joy, it can be happiness, it can be, peace, all these things. And so, I think February is going to be a big month for you guys of change and transformation, um, and good things happening, good new relationships coming your way, pieces of the puzzle being put into place. Let's see what else we get for my group threes for the month of February. All right, we've got yin. So yin is the female energy of yin and yang. Um, Yin is very much a energy of like allowing things to happen and receiving. Okay. Um, so I really feel like with what I'm seeing here, there's a lot of messaging overall about like softening. Okay, like softening ourselves, going out into nature, not fighting so much, tempering, balancing ourselves more. Study could also talk about the study of oneself. Study, get to know yourself on a more intimate level and allow for things to come into your life. Allow yourself to be the receiver. Yeah, I feel like just a lot of messaging about like heart space, softening, allowing, embracing, being open to new relationships. And then you've got time to go. It's time for you to go down this new path of yourself. It is time for you to transform and heal. It is time for you to go out in nature. It is time for you to embrace this soulmate relationship that's there to benefit you and create harmony in your life and fulfill you. Go down this new path. This is like a new opportunity for you to live happy and feel and know that you have relationships that are there to support you and love you and embrace who you are and create harmony in your life. For some of you, you might be traveling in the month of February as well. Time to go. Okay. Maybe when you're traveling, you'll meet someone. Maybe for some of you, you will be studying abroad. You'll be, you know, relocating to some area to study something. That could be the case for some. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for this reading, but I thank you so much for watching, and I hope I get to see you on the next one. All right, bye bye.